I'm gonna wait till y'all come back because all these little stupid notifications. I usually be on my tablet. All these stupid little notifications. I was trying to dismiss it and it bumped me out the video. So I'll wait a couple of minutes till everybody comes back in. It probably was, I don't know. Our sons did some mojo on me. It's like, let's stop her from making us feel bad. I'm not making you feel bad. It's reality. And it's only for you guys that are holding the information for fiat and not giving the mothers what they need. You Moorish Science Temple individual administrators and trustees over there. Well, you ain't trustees of nothing but a corporation. But at the same time, I'm gonna wait for y'all guys for everybody to come back in Islam. But I'm a little mad that did that. That really pissed me off. I'm not even gonna front. Islam Apollo. Maybe next time I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna do nothing. So I was sitting here talking about some things. I'm gonna just kind of try to backtrack for a couple seconds and then kind of go forward. So I like that post that Light had placed on there, and I know this is so different and so outside the box in regards to the mantra, but the mantra is you stating your status in your nativity for the record and so they can't sit here and try to bait you into a conversation or bait you into answering questions or bait you into through threat, duress, and coercion to submit to that, to induce you to fraud. They're literally when they are fictitiously and through trickery trying to get you to admit to answer some of the questions. It's them trying to get you to step into inducement of fraud. When you declare and proclaim your nationality, it's you stepping outside of fraud. It's you stepping outside of the fraud. It's you rebutting those fictitious corporate claims that your mother and your father placed on you because they didn't know who they were, or they're part of secret societies, or whatever reasons why your parents, your mom and your dad will not tell you the truth, because some of them know. Especially if they're an Eastern Star or a Mason, they know, or if they don't know, they have the ability to know. They have the compensity to know because they have access to those rare books and all of that history that the average Joe Schmo don't necessarily have access to.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? I tell you, the trains follow me wherever I go.
The trains is not.
Huh?
It's not the trains, it's the ambulance.
Right, trains. And I'm like, yeah, we got to make a no loud noise policy. Ooh. What the hell was that? Something red. Probably a bloodsucker. I ain't seen one of those in a long time. Those little red bloodsuckers. Remember those? Wait a minute. Speaking of red bloodsuckers, where the heck are they? Where are the bloodsuckers? Has anybody seen those red bloodsuckers? I haven't seen one in years. I come to Vineland, New Jersey, and I see bloodsuckers. It's funny. Funny bloodsuckers. Hi, Tamara L. I see you. Islam. Islam to you. So, our biggest issue is self. Like I was talking to one of the Moors earlier today. I was like, this fight is really between mother and son. The Albion's just profiting off of our infighting and our lack of love and respect and unity to one another. They're just profit on us. Our issue is not with the Albion, because if you're not going to use your sovereignty and you're not going to be yourself, they're like, look, I'll be you. I'll be you, and when you act stupid because you outside the law, I'm going to put a bond on you and put you in one of those POW camps. That's what they do. And the incitement, not the incitement, so yeah, that's the issue. Mom and son. Son loves the patriarchy because it makes him feel like he's powerful. Mom need to bring back the matriarchy because everybody acting crazy. So just like how I keep bringing the Terminator up, because, look, it's here again. Look, there it is. Look. I'm gonna show y'all this damn thing if it don't stop moving. Where is it? Can you see it? Ah! God damn, I couldn't get you to see. I couldn't get you to see it.
It's a red day.
You keep messing with me. I'm like, what the hell? Is it dropping off the damn tray? God. Here it is. Look. Is it flying? Look. Can you see it? Damn it.
Can you
see it? There you go. You got it. Look at that. This mother freaker keeps messing with me. Keeps messing with me. If it come back, I'm gonna be like, look, you wanna go home?
It's a red day.
I'm gonna put you. Is it a red day? Oh, they's like, you ain't got. I got earrings on. I got red on. So why you keep messing with me? I got red fingernail polish. All right, I'm gonna get back to topic. So, where do I start again? Got bugs messing with me.
It's an in-house work
Hosts.
between
Look.
mother and son.
Got a green one down there. Red and green. Get the point? What you say?
It's an in-house war between the mother.
Yes,
and the son.
in-house war between mothers and
Albions
sons.
is just-
Albions is just a little distraction to keep you divided. They'll come and whisper in your ear. She said that? Like they're the whisperers. You gotta call them, you whisperer, get away from me. Because their job is to kind of create division. But just like Taj Tariq Bey says, and we already know because the Prophet Noble Jew already said, the Albions is helping why ain't you? The Albions, they want this to be over because they working like a dog right now. For real. They working hard. They got to be in the POWs. They got to be on the streets as a cop. They got to clean the darn streets and do all this stuff. What else they got to do? What else they do? They got to sit here and act like they sovereign. They got to sit here. I mean, their whole existence is just, they tired, y'all. So don't y'all think it's time for us to stop, to put our differences aside and unify and be there in solidarity to one another? And when I say that, I mean that in regards to giving us our stuff back. Either you're going to give us our stuff back or we're going to take it. And if we have to take it, I'm just saying, it's not going to be a good time. I got another, and I'm not going to swipe it because I might swipe right back off the platform. So the issue really is between mother and son. It's not necessarily between Moors and the Albions, because the reality is they can't defeat us. The only way they defeat us is if we let them. And the only reasons we would let them defeat us is because we too busy fighting one another to even see that threat coming, right? I was like, so being ourselves is our biggest obstacle that we see, and that obstacle is only there because the temples, the churches, and all of these other organizations that people want to be a part of are deceiving you. What y'all talking about?
You want to feed the squirrel.
Don't get too close. That's all I can say. Because squirrels jump. I saw it. Let me stop. Anyway, so then you got tier 6. Tier 6 is the allodial possession of property process. And that process is laid out in this document as well as in the grid. And then tier 7 is how to live through your Moorish estate as sovereigns. That is the last tier. You have to accomplish all this other stuff before you're living allodially through your estate. Most of the stuff that the Moorish National Republic federal government is doing is to make sure by the time you get to tier 7, you're ready. You're ready at tier 7. And here's another question that you got to ask yourself is, you're either going to do one of two things. You're going to live as a slave and fill out applications for services because you are outside of alignment. Not only are you outside of alignment, you're a dependent property of the state, and they determine what they want to give you, how much they want to give you, and when they want to give you it. That's servitude. That's the living under the nom de guerre, but at the same time, you're an outlaw, a bandit, and a terrorist, and the reality is they ain't even got to feed you if they don't want to. And then you're on this other side where you're being yourself, you're lifting your nation, and you're living allodially through your state, through your estate. The fear of your nationality puts you in a stateless position. Yes, the fear of nationality does put you in a stateless position because you're sitting there wanting all of these rights and and let's say reparations. You want all this stuff from people when you don't need nobody to give you anything. You don't need anybody to give you anything, but the one thing you do need to do is learn who you are, declare and proclaim your nationality, and live allodially. Don't nobody want to take care of property. They take care of property. You see how you take care of your bikes, you take care of your computers, your laptops. You see how you take it, like, think about it. The things that you have that is your property, you take care of any old kind of way you see fit, right? I was like, what's the difference? Because you're a walking, talking property, they should treat you any different? They're proving that they don't care how they treat property. So don't you think you should kind of get out of that property game and be yourself? I think you should. I absolutely positively think you should get out of there. because the reality is it's fallen, it's gone. Superinflation is going to heighten things. You're not going to be able to afford things through the fiat system because it's gone. With the activation of the gold standard August the 1st, 2019, that platform has completely been annihilated. Goliath is dead. It got his butt kicked. But Morris, this is the part where you have to stand up, be yourself, and not push corporate instruments, because corporate instruments are debt notes, and debt notes have been terminated. All debt contracts have been terminated, literally all of them. So you no longer have to be slaves to them, and they no longer can utilize that nom de guerre or those debt bonds to violate and victimize you. But more, you have to also get in. It is your responsibility to get into alignment. That means declaring and proclaiming your nationality, completing your Moorish American nationality grid and outline, and learning and gaining education on how to administer your estate. Not getting anybody else to do it for you. Somebody called me earlier today and wanted to complain about the file section of the Facebook group. Now, if you go into the file section of the Facebook group through your computer, you can sort those files by alphabetical name. And because of the naming convention, all you gotta do is scroll up and scroll down. And if you sort it in alphabetical order, the first thing that's gonna come up are the affidavits, because they are MACN-A as opposed to the records recordings that is MACN-R. So if you sort it in alphabetical order, the very first documents will come up, which will be the affidavits, and they're all templates for you to print down, download, and complete. So that's one way to find the documents that you're looking at. But the source of that information, in terms of what to do, will come from this grid. So if you look at page, I just uploaded the new updated grids too, by the way, to the file section as well as to the script account. So there's an update of the grid. So go there and download the documents. So for instance, if you wanted to do a UCC1 lien, that's affidavit MACN-A006. That's MACN-A006. So that affidavit you want to complete. What? That affidavit you want to complete to do the UCC1 liens. And if you, like I said, organize it, you can go download it, and then you have the documents. And like I say, download all the documents so you don't got to keep going in there looking for them.
We know what that's about.
Yeah, of course, right? That's funny. They ain't doing what we tell them to do. Yeah, they're doing everything we tell them to do. But why Moors don't think that? Because y'all have to see stuff because of you not dealing with the spirit, and the spirit gonna tell you everything. Like, think about it this way: the spirit, when you sit here and be like, man, I'm hungry, and then all of a sudden, when you go straight on Facebook and tell you, it shows you Wendy's or some stuff like that. So your spirit, you're manifesting what it is that you want. So if you want the patriarchy, only thing you're gonna find is patriarchy stuff to confirm what you want. But if you want to be yourself and actually be in alignment with the matriarchy and your bloodline heritage, you're gonna start seeing the things that you want. But keep in mind, if you like the patriarchy and you don't want it to go anywhere, but yet you can't find anything about matriarchy that substantiates what Sharon Tracy Gale Bay is talking about, or anybody else on the social platform, that's because you're in denial. It's because you're in denial and you're trying to act like you don't. You're not. And you want to see something that's going to refute the actual realities of it. Therefore, the spirit's just going to let you play in the sandbox. Like I keep telling you, it's literal. They're going to be like, yep, put her in the sandbox, let her find everything that's going to corroborate the fact that that person loves the patriarchy. So because that person loves the patriarchy and their disrespect of their mothers, you ain't going to find the keys. The only people that's going to find the keys is the people that's under love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. And that truth part is knowing that you all come from a matriarchy, because men don't create nothing. And that's not a insult. That's nature and that's reality. We got to be in truth. Earlier today, and if you have beliefs, they said the root word, Tashrik Bey, I was going to do the etymology on this word. A belie. It's a lie. The root word in believe is lie. So if you believe in things, you'll believe anything, even if it's a lie. But if you know truth, believe. I'm gonna start saying it the way believe. I'm gonna do something. Something's gonna, the spirit gonna come and tell me something to do in that regards. So, so we have some new documents. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can route back to that one. So we have the Moorish American mantra. That's affidavit number 29 and 30. So I think it has 2 affidavits for the mantra. Like I said, print that out, have it with you. Anybody want to sit here and try to call you a United States citizen, you make sure you say that damn mantra. So that's 29 and 30. These are all new. Oh, goodness. Affidavit 33 is the affidavit we're working on, which is the National Sovereign Resource Command. That's going to be the affidavit when you are acquiring resources allodially through your estate. We're working on that one. So once we put the initial requests out, commands out to service corporations, once we do that, it's not going to just be for, let's say, the judiciary. It's going to be for everyone, and it's going to show you how to do it. So once this document goes out, which will be between we're at mid-week. It'll probably be going out by the end of the week. I'll do a Facebook Live about it to go over how to do it, so you'll be getting things allodially. And then once we do the initial, which is why it's so important to put that gold standards recording document out there, and to make sure you send it out with all your documents, is so everybody knows. Because keep in mind, how does the Albions get away with a lot of things that they get away with and be able to still continue to do certain things for a certain amount of time after the end of it is because nobody knows that the change happened. And the only way the change is going to happen, and you're going to be able to know that the gold standard is there, is by activating it. And it's activating it by being active, by using it for conveyances, because they done stole all your corporate conveyances because you want to identify as property. You don't own anything. So if you acquired property through the nom de guerre, well, that was fraud. That was inducement to fraud. So how are they inducing you to fraud? They're inducing you to fraud with every application you fill out and you sign under, and you sign as the nom de guerre, and you put that nom de guerre on there. That's inducement to fraud, automatic. All Islam. Automatic inducement to fraud. Automatic when you ask for anything, because you have an estate and 2 people can't administer the estate. So they can't administer the estate as property while you're trying to administer the estate as an allodial, right? So you got to do one. So if you want to be property, and you deal with the codes, regulations, and the ordinances. You want to be yourself, you got to kill the contracts. Even though they are presumed contracts, you got to kill them. Because for a certain amount of time, you've been operating as that nom de guerre, as that fictitious person. You were in dishonor, which is why they'll sit here and jump and charge you with all these different charges. You think that they're just, profiling you or being racist to you. You think that they're doing all of these things when they just moving their property. And that's the part that's easy. Because before you thought, like, man, the codes, United States Statute Code says blah, 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 blah. Well, the codes as well as it's all commercial, right? We're talking about the United States codes, United States commercial codes, right? We know that the U.S. is the United States commercial codes, right? We do know that it's the United States commercial code. Commercial means what? If they don't apply to us because we're sovereign, why are we talking codes? I came to that realization a little bit while ago, but I said, let me wait till the ancestors give me the rest, because people ain't gonna understand what the heck I'm saying when I say that. So while we sit here like, well, 18 UNC Code 911 says United States citizens. Well, why are you talking about a code? You just said you Moorish American National. Why are you talking about a code? Who talks about codes? Those subject to it. Who talks about codes? Those subject to it. You talk about Moorish nationality. You state the mantra. You state the mantra. I ain't gonna make you do it today. You state the mantra. You say, I am Sharon Tracy Galbay, Moorish American National, in proprio persona sui juris, in proprio solo, in proprio heredis, at all times and at all points in time. And then you say the rest, right? Because you're letting them know you're no longer, you've killed all those so-called contracts, all those so-called bonds, all those so-called adhesions, and you've corrected the sin your mother placed you in. Because she placed you in that sin, but the son has a lot of responsibility for why she did that, because he was holding her culture, heritage, information because the patriarchy he liked too much. I'm gonna leave that right there. Let you marinate for like 5 minutes on that. So that's 5 minutes you can marinate. As long. You done marinating? 5 more minutes. Now I've read this affidavit of the gold standard and the processes for all the corporations to do business again, because like I said in previous man, I gotta go reroute to this part because I just have to. Do you realize when I watch videos and then I wake up in the middle of the night and then I gotta go run and do push-ups at the track to not fly away and be like this? Really, Demetrius Barker Bay? Really, Demetrius Barker Bay?
Vegan tacos.
I know you all far. How you 45 minutes down the road now?
Yeah, we move now.
Y'all happy though?
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
I'm gonna be out here. We gonna be here.
Long.
Once we get everything.
Long.
Once we get everything settled.
How's
at
my
the house,
baby? How's the baby in the belly? How's the bun?
She about to burst any
bust.
moment soon.
Aw, I
We
can't
we
wait.
preparing
I
for
just
that.
wonder how fast I can get down here to see the damn.
Hey, look, man, the baby ain't gonna be going nowhere. It's gonna be right at the house. I think I'm nervous myself.
Nervous is third one, ain't it?
Yeah.
We come to sell.
We coming to sell them, that's right.
That's long.
Y'all gotta call me early.
Early. You gotta make sure student. Well, shucks. Let me
start
tell you,
going
some
to-
people be in labor
Like, yo,
forever.
Oh, yeah, look, come.
How was the last two? Was it quick?
Well,
Or was it a long time?
really, this is the second
Oh,
one.
look at Fallon. She right there. Hi, Fallon.
Yeah, she kind of mad at me. She was
mad?
like, you ain't told me you was going to
He was supposed to bring you down here.
No.
Fallon.
We didn't know what was gonna happen because it was supposed to storm.
I know, right? I was sitting here like,
Okay.
I was like, Fatima, how come every time we be trying to do class, it talk about it's gonna rain and it be raining? I be like, what we gonna do? She be like, they got a gazebo. I'm like, all right.
Hey, look, it stopped too.
It stopped. Yes, it did. It was no sun at all today.
Weird people over at
I'm
the
a little
gazebo.
mad about
It sure
that.
is. A whole bunch.
I was like, hold
Well,
on,
all those
hold
people
on,
over there, I was like, they ain't for us, are they?
Yes.
I'm like, okay, they probably need to listen.
They sure do.
Yes, they do.
Look, I'm gonna see y'all.
All right,
Okay,
Mom.
peace.
Be safe.
Have a good one.
Pax.
Facts.
Enjoy the vegan tacos.
Oh, I will.
I started something
Where's the vegan tacos at?
at his house.
They gonna make
He lucky he 45 minutes away. Where was we talking? So we were talking about some stuff. Man, do y'all know the energy? It's, they messing with...
Don't do it.
Okay, let's go back to where I was going to go. We were going to go to the courts are banks and the people on the bench are tellers.
Yes, they are.
The next video is going to say something like that, right? And they're moving property that has been liened through a debt bond. But why did they have the ability to do it in the first place? Because we were operating under the fraud. We were being induced to fraud because we were ignorant to the realities of how the world runs. And again, sons, that's on you. Because you've been holding the secrets from mother, so she's unable to defend herself. Do you understand what I'm saying? So our daughters are on the streets pimping themselves out. Our daughters are being victimized, are being human trafficked, are in breeding camps for children, all organs. I'm telling you, I mean, I could go all day, all the things that we're dealing with because mother has been left without her armor. So it's like she's in battle. She's literally she's in battle. She's in battle for her life, and her sons are holding the keys, the weapons, which is the knowledge to defend herself. Light, I would tell you. Matter of fact, let me text her right now and let her know that I'm doing a Marco Polo or a Facebook Live. Let me text her because she done tried like 5 times. Let me send a text message. Where's she at? Light. Come to the light, Caroline. Caroline. That was my show, y'all. Y'all like that show? Caroline. Caroline. Come to the light, Caroline. That was my joke, y'all. Alright, is this the one? No. Okay, I can't. I just can't. Whatever. So when you I was trying to call her all day. So no, all of a sudden, nope. I ain't even gonna say it. I can't. Can you text her? Well, no, she's calling from her daughter's cell phone. Caroline, look into the light, Caroline. Come to the light. Moors. I don't know what to do. Huh? I don't know how to tell you. Cause it's like I gotta go through the modes. All right, let me see if I can go this way. It's not gonna come up. Oh, it's on the wrong one. Okay. Oh, give me strength. What? Look, I can't. I don't. I'm just give me a second. I gotta think. Okay. I gotta come back to where I was going with this.
Circle around. Circle around.
Gotta circle around. If I have to create a system for my property so they can think that they're not my property, but operate within the confines of rules and regulations, and as soon as they come outside of those rules and regulations, I'll place a bond, a debt bond on them, even though they don't realize, even though they don't realize, I tell you, everything's trying to stop me from getting to this point.
Like a bug.
Even though they don't realize that their property, and when they go outside of the confines of their privileges, a debt is placed on their head. Okay? As well as when they need to move resources, they create any excuse whatsoever to seize the corporate state. But here's the crazy part, Morris. They would never be able to seize, and they would never be able to hypothecate if you didn't have your shield of armor. And what is your shield of armor? Your shield of armor is knowledge of self. Your shield of armor is knowing who you are, your culture, your heritage, and standing on that. They're presenting a fraudulent document. And if you answer to that fraudulent document, you're being induced to fraud. And they're doing it through trickery. What's your name? Where you live? What's the other questions? When was you born? So they look down at that presentment, that unlawful presentment, and they like, yep, tick, 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 boom. Based on how you identify, and then you sit here and say, well, based on USC codes 18-29, you sitting here like, yeah, you know codes is for commerce, right? But you said you ain't commerce. Why you talking code? And then you sit here, and then they're just frazzled because they don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. Nothing you use is going to aid you besides the fact that you should be only standing on personam jurisdiction. If you're not in control of you, you are an outlaw, right? So every time I turn around, I get an interruption, right? But I want to full circle this. So if they issue a bond, right, and they print on there the nom de guerre, and they ask you license, registration, proof of insurance, even them asking license, registration, proof of insurance is like, that's commercial. I'm Sharon Tracy Gabay, Moorish American National. Who gives you the authority to pull me over? Nobody gives you the authority to pull me over. Who are you, right? But because we don't want to get into question and answering sessions, because anything you say will be used against you in a court of presumed law, right? So you just sit there and you say the mantra, I am Sharon Tracy Gilbert. You don't answer no questions because they're trying to induce you to fraud. They need you to answer to that nom de guerre so they can go and liquidate it. Because they can't cash the check unless you endorse it. And how are you endorsing the check? One, by going. Because they wasn't talking to you in the beginning. They wasn't talking to you in the beginning. But you still got to cancel contracts, even presumed. So you got to do that, all cancellation of debt contracts. What affidavit number is that? Let's see what affidavit of number is that. The cancellation of debt, all debt. Which one is it, Morris? It's on here. 18. Termination of all corporate contracts. Termination of all corporate contracts is 18. That is stating who you are. Canceling all contracts. Why? Because you're the secure party, first party creditor, right? It was all based on you, right? I was like, but the reality is also this. Because they've been transacting and doing a whole bunch of stuff with those numbers, those original numbers, the Social Security, and the birth certificate created the CUSIC number, right? So that's a monetizable document. And you've been authorizing all of that. You've been sanctioning all that. You are property nonetheless, but you've been sanctioning it all. So you're sanctioning all that fraudulent inducement to fraud documents because why? Because you don't know how to live off of your estate. We don't know how to live off of our estate. So therefore we sit here and fill out all these applications. But what's the first 3 things they ask you for on the applications that's inducing you to fraud? What are those 3 things it's asking you? Name, address, social security number. Name, address, social security number. And then I said that. So name, address, social security number. They're asking you for all that to induce you to fraud so they can come reroute back around, right? And then when you give them that presentment, they go run to the bank, which is the court. They put a lien on you. Automatic. They just don't tell you what the lien's on when they call you into those so-called tribunals. And all those codes, those so-called ordinance codes, those so-called what do you call them? Statutes. Those are all numbering systems in order to determine how much they want. So they're going to look like, what can we do? We need this much. So let's rack up all these charges. You think it's serious because you've been miseducated your whole entire life. So you've been miseducated your whole entire life and you've been answering to those frauds. So they're holding you to it. And there's one thing and only one thing that you need to do to challenge them. Because when they post it and they put it and they take it to the clerk, they're like, okay, clerk, file this. It's a presentment. It's an illegal presentment, a fraudulent presentment, right? So they file it with the so-called clerk. All of them involved. I'm telling you, they all involved. File it with the clerk. And then that clerk sits here, puts it in her system. Okay, who's this? This is at this mailing location, social security number, blah, blah, blah. They go look in their database, where they at, because the so-called USPS address change know exactly where you at because you keep filing them. Every time you move to a different domicile, you file USPS address changes. So all they do is look at their little system, know where you at, and they send you that unlawful fraudulent bill of attainder in the U.S. mail. So once they send it to you mail and you sit here and get it at your domicile, one, they had access to you only because you gave them the information. You keep giving them all your damn information and they're using it against you. So as soon as the document come in the mail, all of a sudden this is what happens. What? Fear melts all over you. Fear. Because you think you're about to go to jail for something, or you think you have to pay some finances for something. Everything done shut down. Everything about you shut down. Your emotions, you thinking about the bills you got to pay. You think about everything. You thinking about the children about to start school. You got to get some uniforms. All these kind of things you're thinking about. And then you sit here and you didn't even realize they were never freaking talking to you. And you didn't even realize, even though they do their checks and balances, you didn't do your checks and balances when that presentment came into the mail. First of all, it should never have came into the mail, and they should never know where you live, where you domicile. That's the part where the USPS and that whole system, right? So when you see it, you see the nom de guerre, and you answer to the nom de guerre. So some of you may pay it, and you sign it, and then they're like, no, you got to come down, and you got to fill out some paperwork, and you got to give us that fiat. So you got to approve the bond, so they can go liquidate it. They can go sell it. So think about it. So when they get that so-called information, they present it to the bank, and the bank gives them credit. And the credit they use to create other fictitious corporations that will offer other applications for you to do it over and over and over again. That's why you'll sit here and go to the GMI utility website and see thousands upon thousands of debt notes, claims on that nom de guerre, that social security number, because without you signing in that manner, they would have never been able to do any of the things that they've done to us. None of them, right? So how do you combat that? Well, that's where you do the writ of discovery, the quo warranto, the default notice, putting on the record your status and standing in society. You're rebutting. You're like, nah, I don't got no debt notes. What are you talking about? That ain't me. And you're putting all of your qualifying adverse claims in the record. So you're putting all your adverse claims in the record. So you're filing it. So when he tries to go liquidate it, he can't. Stuck. And not only can he not, you're going to put a lien on him because he's being a fraudulent corporate activity. He's doing fraudulent corporate human trafficking. It's serious. But it's being presented to you as if you've done something wrong, as if you violated some law, because they're not government. They don't have any authority here on the land, and the only authority they had was you. And the only ways they have been able to do any of this thing is because we were obedient and compliant in it. They cannot do anything if we're not obedient and compliant in it. So nationality is the order of the day, because the debt slavery is over. But if you're going to answer to the fraud, you're going to lose everything, because you ain't own anything anyway. Because everything that you think that you have, you got under fraud, because you answered to a name that was not you. And ignorance of the law is no excuse. They're administering the estate because you're choosing to still remain property, chattel property. So they have claims on you and your heirs and everything you think you own that you don't. So every time we put an adverse claim in, they can't administer your estate because you didn't agree to it. You have to agree to be a slave. It's an agreement. And that agreement is when you sign under that nom de guerre and you address it and you sign. When you answer to that nom de guerre and you sign in that nom de guerre, you are admitting and telling them you want to be administered over, you want them to be your trustee, and you would love to be slave with privileges that can be revoked at any time and changed at any time. And you are an outside of law, therefore you cannot call anything or anyone. Understand what I'm saying to you now? The banks were never supposed to be established. They're going to start putting claims on you on those nom de guerres like crazy, y'all. Just so y'all know. Because they can't eat. That's the only source of funds for them. Because right now they're not going to be able to move no profit, no resources, no merchandise, no nothing unless they have us there sanctioning it in our lawful capacity now. So the Moors that used to be of a benefit under the nom de guerres as ward chattel property, you are no longer profitable because they can't administer estates for you because the Moors are back on planet. We're back on the planet. We're back on the earth. And we activated the gold standard. Therefore, they can't do anything because they don't have sovereignty. And until they get subject paperwork, they're outlaws. And they're literally going to be seized up. I think I'm playing. I think I'm lying to you. Just wait and you'll see. Just wait. So if you fill out any application that don't have your flags and your sigils and your nationality on the top of it, you are filling out a debt instrument. in agreeing to be the property of someone else. So no, you don't need food stamps. No, you don't need lahit. No, you don't need any of these things. You need to learn how to, you need to get this darn grid done and learn how to administer your estate allodially so you can protect you, but more importantly, your progeny. Did I say enough?
You went in.
So sons, give us back our information. We command it. You ain't got 5 minutes. You ain't got 5 days. You got now. Give us back our weapons, which is our knowledge, our heritage, our culture, or be swept away with everything and everyone else who doesn't stand on love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, who doesn't declare and proclaim their nationality, and who does not get in alignment with the supreme laws of the land. That is my message to today. This is building, because once I get that board, and we have the board, it's in game. It's already in game. I don't know why you don't feel so beautiful. All that power, all that energy coming on the planet, all that energy, all that power coming on the planet, I can't even handle it. I can't handle it. I know you can't handle it. I can't handle it. But don't be gang warring with me on Facebook because you like being with, I'll be honest. Pick your choice. Live with your choice. But don't gang war with me. That's end game. You gang warring with Sharon. That's end game.
What the prophet said.
Right? Prophet said, I wish not to amalgamate with the pale sons of Europe.
Mother and thy fathers.
Fathers? Wait a minute. Everything starts as female. Everything. Everything starts as females. But guess what, sons? Y'all this gonna bake your noodle. When you come back, you coming back as a woman. Oh, you ain't coming back. Did I just mess with y'all? Because you were supposed to be a woman from jump. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Then you got sovereignty. Because you came the way you were supposed to come. From the jump. Miss me with the issues. Because I ain't even going deep as I want to go. Because y'all can't handle that. Not yet. Get that grids done. Get your grids done. Get your grids done. Get your grids done. Declare and proclaim your nationality. Do all of the moving in. Kill those corporate debts. Stop answering to the fraud. Stop inducing yourself to fraud in your children and your progeny. Gain education, gain knowledge on how to live allodially. Because it's not as hard as you think it is. Islam? If there's no questions, we'll end this broadcast. Because how long has you been on here? An hour? Have you been here an hour?
About that.
About an hour. Got two spliced videos. I'm about to upload. A little mad about that. Pack set some more. Islam. Islam. So Fatima gonna say the you gonna say the mantra Fatra? I said Fatra. I called you Fatra.
I don't know who that
Did
is.
I called you
See, that's what they've been doing to me. Fatima. Fake Tama. Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Oh my God.
I ain't messing with you. Get
Oh
my
my
name
God,
right.
that's so
Get
funny.
my appellation right.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Get
And
my
as always,
appellation.
follow the Aboriginal road. Follow the Aboriginal road. Or the original road now. Follow the original road. I'll be trying to make people laugh because if you ain't laughing, you're crying.
Yes.
Pass it to more people. Peace and love. Class tomorrow, 3 p.m. Free conference call, Eastern time to go over the lean and how to navigate the Facebook file section of the group. Islam. Miss, did you just call me Miss? Sons, man.
Sharon Tracy Gil Bay.
Islam. Islamism. I self-law and master. Ain't nobody master of me. Islam. Pass it to more.
It's my queen.